Hudson County View live and uncut, and I'm your host, the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, the women's pet, the men's regret, but what you see is what you get, and what you don't is better yet, John Heinis. So we're talking the latest and greatest at Hudson County News, just like we do every week. So there's a whole heck of a lot happening here in the electoral scene. First of all, last night, you first heard on Hudson County View that Larry Weinstein, a three-time challenger for the North Bergen mayor's seat, will be running for state assembly in the 33rd Legislative District. And he's going to be running with the support of State Senator and Union City Mayor Brian Stack. So this will be another proxy war between Stack and North Bergen Mayor Nick Sacco. So going to be a lot of fur flying in that one. Going to tell you about that. Also going to talk a little bit about what's going on in Hoboken and Jersey City. A lot of ELEC reports have come out. The vast majority actually have. So we're going to tell you where everybody stands, who's leading and who's lacking. So we're going to get into that as well. Also, on a more somber note, we're going to also mention Sienna Lee. Unfortunately, that's a 15-year-old girl that was gunned down in Jersey City late Saturday night. A GoFundMe page has been started for the family. So we're going to tell you how you can help out there. And there's a whole lot more. For example, we got a rent control case in Hoboken where the city, in a rare instance, actually won this time. So we're going to tell you about that. And also, I'm going to sit down with Jersey City Ward A Council candidate Pam Johnson. All that and a whole lot more right after this word from our sponsors.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Hudson County View live and uncut, John Heinis. So let's talk a little bit about Sienna Lee. Again, very unfortunate turn of events. Obviously, we heard about this shooting from the Hudson County Prosecutor's Office, and on Sunday that was. And this happened on late Saturday night. Sienna Lee, 15, of Jersey City, was shot at the intersection of Martin Luther King Drive, and I believe that was Union Street, yes, approximately 11 p.m., and she ended up succumbing to her injuries tragically at the Jersey City Medical Center at approximately 1:20 a.m. Again, this is according to the Hudson County Prosecutor, Esther Suarez. And we found out last night that the GoFundMe page was made for the family, of course, who must be in a, indescribable hurt going on right there. Of course, thoughts and prayers. But if you read the GoFundMe page, had a chance to look at it, it said Sienna Lee was a vibrant and loving young 15-year-old young girl who was born in Jamaica. She moved to the United States to be with her father and to pursue greater opportunities for her future. On January 19th, Sienna's life was tragically cut short when she was senselessly shot in her car after a celebratory dinner with her family. She was on her way home from dropping off a relative when this heartbreaking incident occurred. For those of you that have read up on this, you also saw that a 37-year-old relative of Lee's was shot. Fortunately, that woman is in stable condition and likely has been discharged, but we haven't got a direct update on her condition just yet. The only real positive thing I could say at this moment is the initial goal was $10,000, and after less than 24 hours of this page being online, thanks to the support of people in the Jersey City and the surrounding communities, already $9,234 has been raised. I'm looking at this right now as of 12:03 p.m. And they've raised the goal to $16,000. So obviously, if you guys are in a situation where you could help out $5, $10, $20, I'm sure it would go a long way. So with that very unfortunate turn of events, let's get into things that are a little less serious, but still of note, and that's what's going on in the June 10th primary. So As I mentioned at the top of the program, Larry Weinstein, three-time challenger to North Bergen Mayor Nick Sacco, is running for state assembly. We've heard about this for many months, for at least the entire fourth quarter of last year, probably even a little beyond that. You know, he's done some toy drives with State Senator and Union City Mayor Brian Stack, and he's been outspoken at a number of events of his. They've also appeared at a West New York luncheon, a senior luncheon at the Gray Cliff over in Moonachie. And that was, of course, hosted by West New York Mayor Albio Series and the Board of Commissioners. And the photo I used, you guys see the Hispanic Day Parade. He's standing with Stack, with Weehawken Mayor Richard Turner and State Assemblyman Gabriel Rodriguez, who is going to be his running mate. So other than that, this is a real World Series of inside baseball for a lot of people, but nonetheless, you could see that his treasurer is Union City Board of Education employee Angelo Caliente. Now, some of you insiders may be like, wait, that sounds familiar, and it should, because he's also the treasurer for Jersey City mayoral candidate Jim McGreevey, and Weinstein recently donated $1,000 to his campaign as well. So all clear signals that Stack is going to endorse him, and we're in for quite a war here. So, other than that, not too much else to detail on that side. On the other side, of course, you have Sacco and Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop. He's a Democratic candidate for governor. Obviously, Stack and Hudson County Executive / HCDO Chair Craig Guy decided that wasn't the direction they wanted to go with. They signaled support for Josh Gottheimer a few months ago, but then in November, it looked like they might go with Mikey Sherrill. Of course, those are two of our representatives in Congress here in New Jersey of the 5th and 11th districts, respectively. So no decisions made. All I know is that they're taking a wait-and-see approach there. And floated as a potential running mate for Marenco is Hector Oseguera. You may recall back in August I did a story, and Fulop called Oseguera a quote-unquote phenomenal candidate. We haven't heard from him really, so not sure what he's planning to do. But I'm hearing that he's still certainly in the mix. And other than that, look, we're going to have a lot of things going on this primary season. You have Guttenberg Mayor. You have the 31st Legislative District, the 32nd Legislative District, and of course here we are in the 33rd, and someone's going to run for Hudson County Sheriff. It looks, by all indications, that we're going to have Sheriff Frank Scialleri being challenged by Mayor Jimmy Davis, who's a retired police captain. Of course, Davis has not addressed anything publicly about what he plans to do, but again, all indications are that he's in, and that's going to be the matchup, so we're going to keep a close eye on all of that. Then also in North Bergen, but not political at all, actually, we had this very crazy situation where a dump truck crashed into the Target. That's at 7101 Tunnelly Ave on Friday afternoon. According to Mayor Sacco, 6 people were injured, 1 severely, and the North Bergen police had the same number as well. And, interestingly, no charges as of this time. We know that there was an active investigation. The North Bergen PD was providing a number of updates on their Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And, obviously there was a lot of traffic. Fortunate, as bad as the situation was, it's fortunate that there weren't more injuries. Obviously, this was just such a wild, unpredictable thing. So, other than that, obviously huge first responder presence. North Bergen EMS, Hudson County Sheriff's Office, West New York Police Department and EMS, Union City EMS, Weehawken EMS, Jersey City Medical Center. And Sacco did an impromptu press conference with other North Bergen officials, and at that point he said, our thoughts are with those who were affected by the events that occurred this afternoon. We're committed to supporting the injured individuals and their families, working to understand what happened. With that, folks, we're about to head to another break. When I come back, I'll be sitting down with Jersey City Ward 8 Council candidate Pam Johnson.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just 1 pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Hudson County View live and uncut. John R. Heinis, and as I mentioned moments ago, today I'm joined with Jersey City Ward A Council candidate Pam Johnson, who's running on the ticket of Hudson County Commissioner Bill O'Day. Pam, thanks for coming in.
Nice to come. Nice
All right.
to be here.
Very good. So, so look, obviously we saw you take a stab at it in 17. Didn't work out the way you would have hoped. You've been working hard on the anti-violence front. You've expanded from a municipal operation to a county operation, so congrats on that.
Thank you.
And 8 years later, you decided to give it another shot. So tell us a little bit about, I guess, the evolution of what happened between now and then and why you're back at it.
The evolution, I like that. I decided to run in 17. I stepped out on faith, and I stepped out with the voters standing behind me and my family standing beside me. And I think that, overall, it was a great time to run. It was a great time for me to really tap into that part of me, what I want to do for my community in an elected position. I was not successful as we know. And then 8 years later, here I am after basically doing a lot of work within my community, continuing the work that was already started prior to 2017, and then using the next 8 years to basically, put together my infrastructure for my organization, Anti-Violence Coalition of Hudson County, just to make sure that it's able to be sustainable in order for us to do what we do for the community. And so, those 8 years flew by very quickly, and I was tapped on the shoulder by Commissioner O'Day, and I happily accepted.
All right. And why did you think that you and Commissioner O'Day were a nice fit?
I mean, we've always been a great fit. So it was like a no-brainer. We worked well together over the past, 20 years. I know Commissioner O'Day through my mom, who worked for the county over 30 years, and through my dad, who retired as the warden of the Hudson County Correctional Facility at that time, now Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. So I know him very well, and we kind of marched to the same beat. And that drum is the heartbeat of the residents of Jersey City. I've worked with him in the past. He supported our anti-violence initiatives. Always, wanted to make sure that we were just in line and having the tools necessary to kind of build up that organization. I've went to Commissioner O'Day in the past for folks who needed help with jobs, for individual families who needed help in whatever situation they were going through, whether it was a slum landlord or whether it just was the economics of where they lived at and the lack of investment in their neighborhoods. And he has always been right there. So if I was going to run with anyone, it would be Commissioner O'Day.
All right. Make a pretty good case. So before we get into the real smash mouth politics, obviously my favorite, just talk a little bit about the anti-violence coalition movement. So again, as I mentioned, as you mentioned too, first was a Jersey City effort, now it's a county-wide effort. And people heard a few months ago about you getting that important $2 million grant in Jersey City to help integrate some mental health responders with our typical first responders like the police. So just, tell us what a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month is like over there and what sort of things you're doing.
We're doing a lot, and it's a lot of amazing work. Prior to starting this, initiative many years ago, we have now grown to an organization that is fully funded by the state and the county, hiring a staff of 12 individuals, all born and raised in Jersey City in those neighborhoods that are concentrated by violence, that lack investment, is very important for the trust in the community with those residents in that area so we can be effective at what we do. Started out with just initiatives that we can afford to pay for out of our pocket because we didn't have any funding back then. And then grown to get some local, micro grants from the city a long time ago. And that started us off, right? And then able to kind of have violence looked at in a different way after a lot of conversations with Jersey City and Hudson County and the state of New Jersey on how we should look at it more as an epidemic and a public health concern rather than a people concern or a neighborhood concern or just kind of just tarnishing what it is and not really looking at the causes of violence, right? And so, after that conversation kind of changed and we were able to stand on that and the messaging and the conversations around the state had changed, it's looked more like a public health concern, and money is being put behind it on the state level to get the things that we need done for the people of Jersey City and Hudson County.
All right. And as far as that grant that I mentioned,
Yes.
It's been, what, maybe 3 or 4 months? So,
Yes. So I think we were awarded back in September, awarded on paper, right? Because we have not signed a contract yet. We're in our 3rd rounds of budget revisions. So our budget has to be approved by the state. And so we're in our 3rd round of doing that. And this should be the last round. And we're hoping to have everything solidified, contract signed, budget approved by the end of February.
oh, okay. And then once that happens, knock on wood.
Yes.
Then what?
Well, then we can start the training for our community crisis response team, and that's the CCRT. We did get a location in the heart of an area that needs a lot of assistance and support. We'll be located on MLK between Oak and Forest. Unfortunately, that is where young Queen Sienna Lee was unfortunately gunned down. In that area, there is a lot of need for a lot of support in mental health and substance abuse, and just in areas of homelessness and areas of unemployment, and just trying to uplift and empower a certain community and make sure that we make an impact while we're there.
All right. Very good. Folks, we're just going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its 2 newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Hudson County View live and uncut. John R. Heinis, and I'm still here with Jersey City Ward A Council candidate Pam Johnson. So Pam, you mentioned Sienna Lee. I mentioned her earlier in the program too, and it's actually already the 2nd homicide in Jersey City.
Yes.
So obviously tragedy. Not much else you could say about that. But I mean, anything specifically you're looking at as to how to address these things moving forward?
So I think, the way to address it moving forward is for us to continue the work that we've been doing. We did. I don't want to say celebrate, but that's what it was called, 0 homicides this summer, which is just not heard of in Jersey City. And that's because of a lot of intentional work done in certain communities. And so we just have to make sure that we're keeping that work concentrated in the areas that we know where violence exists and where the level is high, and just making sure that we connect as many people to the resources as possible. And I think, if we can continue to, receive that state funding and make sure we're on a good path to sustain the work, that would be even better. And then to have an investment from the city, that would be even better as well.
Got it. All right. Now on the political spectrum, so
Sure.
if I'm not mistaken, you're a lifelong Ward A resident, right?
I am.
Okay. Now, so you've seen number of administrations, number of council reps.
Yes.
And you're putting your name up again. You're running against the same incumbent. Why do you think that you're the best person for the job?
I'm the best person for the job because I've never went anywhere. I've always been in my community, serving my community. Prior to me running for office in 2017, and even after I was not successful, I still stayed, as they say, 10 toes down, right? Folks come into our community, or maybe they're born and raised here, but they are not necessarily effective or want to do the work, or really can do the work. And I think that when we need someone who's strong, we need someone who's dedicated, who's willing, and who is very passionate, and also very in touch with the voters. And I can say that I am in every neighborhood of Ward A.
And typically people don't run for office unless they think that things could be done better. So what do you think needs to be done better at Ward A?
A lot of things. Communication, for one. I talk to a lot of residents, and just the communication with the representative in Ward A and City Hall is just not there. Accessibility is just not there. Just making sure that we're taking information to our residents in whatever fashion that is, whether it's social media, emailing, letters, or door-to-door knocking or phone calls. We have to make sure that we know exactly what's happening in those communities, and not by sending someone out into those communities to see what's going on, by us taking our tours ourselves, right? I ride through Ward A, I walk through Ward A, I try to talk to as many people as possible so I know what's happening in their neighborhood. I know what's happening in my neighborhood, but I need to know what's happening in other neighborhoods as well so I can address that. And the way to address that is to be present and to be here and real. My number is public, it's been public for the past 10 years. People can get to me, they know how to knock on my door because they know where I live and I actually live there. So, yeah.
That's a nice thing to do. But so now when we're talking about quality of life, recently, quite a few times actually, in 2024 when I talked to Councilwoman Ridley, a big problem for people in Ward A that we touched on was what's going on with the Municipal Utilities Authority. They were doing a lot of repaving, a lot of emergency work, and it's loud and it's overnight. But, obviously it's an autonomous agency, but certainly people aren't going to love that.
Yes.
I mean, what do you think could be done to improve a situation like that one?
I think we could sit down and have conversations with the MUA and just see how we can kind of make that situation a little better for the residents. And so maybe certain hours, or maybe just having conversations with residents who are directly impacted with where they're doing the construction. I know in COVID, Princeton Avenue was ripped up, put back together, ripped up again many times, at least 5 to 6 times. I used to make phone calls to the MUA, to PSCNG, to Guarini, just letting them know about stuff that was left out, that was, exposed to little kids. Little kids were playing with big barrels and it was snowing and they could fall inside. And so, those things when we're talking about not only just the noise, but also how our neighborhoods look, also where their machinery is going. So just to make sure that we're in touch with them and in communication, and have the residents, their voices heard at the table as well. I think communication and just that high level of communication would be very helpful. And sometimes, folks are complaining about noise, but they really just want somebody to hear what they're saying. Their voices are drowned out by the noise of construction all day, throughout the day. But if somebody is really talking to them, hearing them, and making them feel like, what they're saying matters, and then taking their complaints to those who can help, then I think that's the start.
All right. And not specific to Ward A at all, but any feelings on Governor Phil Murphy expected to endorse former Governor Jim McGreevey for Jersey City Mayor on Sunday?
Not really. Endorsements, they matter, but I think the endorsements of the voters matter more.
All right, simple enough. Any closing thoughts today, Pam?
Closing thoughts. I just would like everyone to just keep our city uplifted in prayer. We have a lot that has happened within the last several months, and the recent homicide of Sienna Lee is just just topping, just putting like a topping on that, and we're going through it. And so just asking for prayers, and for the family, prayers for Sienna, and just prayers for our community as a whole.
All right, very good. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're not done yet. We'll be right back right after another break.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and launch inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one path stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Hudson County View, live at a cut, John R. Heinis. So let's head back for a moment to the Mile Square City. And actually, we have a little bit of a dichotomy here. We heard in the past, let's say, what was that, maybe week to a week and a half, they won a really big case, and they also lost a, I don't know if it was at the equal level case, but well, let me just jump into it. So the Jordan in Hoboken is subject to rent control. So that's a big one. Obviously, rent control has been such a hot topic, especially in Jersey City and Hoboken for the past year. You remember last week when Assembly candidate for the 32nd District, Katie Brennan, was here. We talked about this extensively, but the Jordan, which is at 1200 Clinton Street in Hoboken, subject to rent control. So obviously, the administration is pretty happy about it. This ruling by the federal court is a major victory for tenants in Hoboken. The Jordan corporate landlord's attempt at forum shopping, quote unquote, was an abject failure as the court tossed their claims in its entirety and didn't even entertain their arguments. The city of Hoboken will continue to enforce its rent control ordinance to protect the residents of the Jordan, said Mayor Ravi Bala. So the chronology is this. On September 13, 2023, the Hoboken Rent Leveling and Stabilization Board determined that the property, 1200 Clinton Street, again, it's called the Jordan, was subject to rent control. They came to this conclusion because tenants were not provided with sufficient notice that the property was exempt from rent control or rent leveling. And that's consistent with their rent control ordinance. And LPF 1200 Clinton Equity LLC, the owner of the building, filed its initial suit against the city challenging the decision. And in April of last year, they filed an amended complaint, and they challenged each filing motions to dismiss. And then finally, on January 14th, just last week, 8 days ago, you know, the wheels of justice turned slow. U.S. District Judge William J. Martini issued an order to dismiss the case. So, you know, this is definitely interesting. I mean, Hoboken rent control boards got sued quite a few times last year. I'd say a handful. I don't know the number offhand, but that's a lot for a rent leveling board, especially for a little city like that. So, counsel on the case was Daniel Antonelli, a partner from Antonelli Cantor Rivera. So let's just jump to the next case I was talking about, and that's about a Hoboken employee who had her union sue, and a judge there on the Superior Court level said she is entitled to salary and longevity and benefits despite what the appellate division said. So that's an overturn of the highest order when it comes to Superior Court anyway. So this is Hudson County Superior Court Judge Anthony D'Elia. He said, it is ordered that Ms. Sacco, her name is Anne-Marie Sacco, is to be given the salary, longevity, and benefits she was entitled to before she was released in May 2020, and it is ordered that going forward, this issue must be addressed in negotiations between the parties. So the Hoboken Municipal Employees Association sued the city on Sacco's behalf back in September, as only HCV reported, since she was being treated as a new hire despite having 17 years of service with the city. Therefore, her salary was cut down to $43,000, and she had no longevity, terminal leave, or pre-layoff sick and vacation day entitlements. So a grievance was filed on January 4th, 2021, and eventually we got the outcome that I just told you. Another one out of the Mile Square that we're going to jump, call it a week, I guess I really should say. They're going to vote on a $30,324,240 bond tonight. It's the first reading, but it's for the Sinatra Drive Seawall Rehabilitation Project. That's after investigating a sinkhole near Civil Cave in June. This is the first we've really heard about it publicly. You know, there's a lot here, but I'll tell you what First Ward Councilman Paul Presenzano said. He said that the administration should stop chasing headlines and get to the people's work. Specifically, for 8 years, the city has chased headlines, suing big oil, pushing climate policies, and controlling your electric bills while ignoring Hoboken's own climate issue. Case in point, the crumbling bulkhead along Sinatra Drive. So let's see what happens tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. Next week, we'll have Hoboken Councilwoman at Large and mayoral candidate Emily Jabbour. We'll see you then.